All right, welcome. Today, we're diving deep into something really cool, a feature that could totally change how we learn. It's AlloFlow's Persona Interview Mode. I mean, it's built on this simple but amazing idea. What if you could stop just reading about history and actually talk to it? Let's jump in and see how it all works.
No, really, just think about that for a second. What if you could actually ask Marie Curie what it was like to discover radium? Or get into a debate about political strategy with, Abraham Lincoln himself? It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, right? But that's the core idea we're going to unpack today. So here's the plan. We're going to walk through this step by step, almost like you're using it for the first time. We'll start with how it brings content to life, then how you actually choose who to talk to and what the interview is like, and then we'll get into the really fun stuff, the gamification, the reflection piece, and all the awesome ways you can customize the whole thing. Okay, so first things first, what exactly is persona mode? Let's break down the core concept here. Now, it's super important to get this straight. This is not just another chatbot. Not at all. It's a tool built specifically for immersive learning. The whole point is to help you build real empathy, to actually step into someone else's shoes and understand their world by having a real dynamic conversation with them. All right, you're in. The system is loaded up. The very first decision you got to make is, who do you want to talk to? And this is where the magic really happens. See, you don't just pick from some boring pre-made list. You can feed the system any text. Let's say you upload an article about the Harlem Renaissance. The AI scans it, intelligently picks out the key figures like Langston Hughes or Zora Neale Hurston, and boom, it turns them into people you can actually interview.
From there, you've got two awesome options. You can do a classic one-on-one interview to really go deep with one person, or, and this is my favorite part for sure, you can set up a panel discussion. Just imagine getting Isaac Newton and Albert Einstein in the same virtual room to debate gravity. I mean, how cool is that? This mode literally makes that possible.
Okay, so you've picked who you're talking to, you've picked the format. Now it's time for the main event, the interview itself. And you get to control how you interact too. If you're feeling confident, you can jump into free response mode. That lets you type whatever you want for a totally authentic conversation. But hey, if you need a little guidance, there's multiple choice mode, which gives you helpful questions to keep things moving. It's a great way to support learners no matter where they're at. But you know that feeling, right? You're in a great conversation, things are flowing, and then poof, your mind just goes completely blank. You have no idea what to ask next. We've all been there. Well, that's where Topic Spark comes in. Think of it as your secret weapon, your lifeline for those moments. You just click it, and the AI serves up a smart, historically relevant question that's totally tailored to who you're talking to. It's the perfect way to break through that mental block. Just keep in mind, you only get 2 per interview, so you gotta use them wisely. Okay, but what if you need a little more help than just a one-off spark? Something more consistent throughout the whole chat. Well, for that, you can just toggle on the hints feature. It gives you a steady stream of suggested questions. But here's the really clever part. You can also toggle them off. When you do that, you're activating hard mode. It's a challenge for sure, but you're rewarded with a lot more XP for flying solo. Pretty cool, right? And that brings us to the whole idea of rewards and challenges. This entire experience is gamified, using some really smart mechanics to keep you hooked and motivated to learn. So the core of the system is XP, experience points. And you don't just get points for showing up. No, you earn them by asking really good, thoughtful questions. The deeper you engage, the more points you get, which is great because it naturally pushes you to think more critically. And the badge system takes it even further. It actually targets specific conversational skills. So you don't just get a badge for finishing. You can earn something like the Rapport Builder badge for making a real connection, or the Harmonizer badge for, finding common ground in a heated debate. It's all about rewarding the quality of how you interact, not just the fact that you did.
But look, the conversation itself, that's not the end of the road. You could argue the most important part is what comes after, the reflection. That's where all the learning really sticks.
So there's this really clear post-interview workflow that's like a complete learning loop. First, you end the chat, then the AI instantly generates a summary of all the key insights. After that, it's your turn to write a personal reflection. And when you're done, you can submit that for AI-powered feedback and, you guessed it, even more XP. And let me tell you, this summary report is an incredibly powerful tool. It's not just a transcript of what was said. It actually analyzes the conversation for you. It'll highlight the key insights, show you how your rapport with the persona changed over time, and even point out the specific moments of agreement or disagreement. Super useful for review. All right, last but not least, let's look at how you can tailor this whole experience to fit your exact needs. These are kind of like the power-up features. This is where you get to be the director. With custom instructions, you can fine-tune the persona you're talking to. Like, what if you wanted to interview a really skeptical Thomas Edison? Or maybe a brilliant scientist who has to explain everything like they're talking to a 5-year-old. You can literally set up those parameters right from the start. The tool is also built to be super accessible. You've got auto read, which makes the personas speak their answers out loud. And if you combine that with auto send and your phone's own voice to text, you can have a totally hands-free, natural-sounding conversation, just back and forth like you're on the phone. So there you have it. That's our deep dive into AlloFlow's Persona Interview Mode. As you can see, it's way more than just a feature. It's a whole new way to connect with knowledge, which, leaves us with one big final question. If you could ask anyone in history, anything at all, who would be the first person you'd want to talk to?